Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the New Worlds podcast from Capistrano Valley Christian Schools. I'm Mr. Jasper, the educational technologist here, and I'm with Mr. Mark Robertson, an English teacher who is heading up this project for his students. In today's episode, we're going to hear from Danielle and Connor with an episode that they are calling Nature Plus Trees. Mr. Robertson, can you tell us a bit about what Danielle and Connor talk about in this episode?
So Danny and Connor discuss ways in which the characters in Brave New World are so dependent on technology that they actually see nature as threatening and even repugnant. And then they use this as a premise to consider our own screen time metrics and what that's doing to our own relationship with the world around us, the natural world.
Awesome. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to throw it to Danielle and Connor with their episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
So in Brave New World, what we see is that the setting is so far in the future and their technology has advanced so much that it's like irreversible, and the people are like relying on it in a sense that like they can't undo it like at all.
No return is what you're saying.
No return is exactly what I'm saying.
Gotcha. I totally see what you're talking about.
And we, like, in class, we read the book and we read, like, some of the things about, like, their technology, and we think that that's so far, like, out, and, like, we think that that's, like, so far out, and that it's, like, insane that they could ever rely that heavily on it.
Danielle,
but the thing is...
It is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner.
And we don't realize it, but, like, we as people are slowly relying on technology almost just as much as the people in the book are.
I mean, did you just notice that? I don't know if it picked up, but during this podcast, my phone just got a notification. And what did I do? Right. I checked my phone instantly. What does that say?
That's like a Pavlov's response.
No, most definitely. Like the dogs.
Yes, like the dogs.
Exactly.
Like when the alarm, the notification goes off,
precisely. I start salivating and I look at my phone.
It's a response.
Well, you know.
And so one thing that I thought could help prove this was I did a poll on my Instagram story, and I asked two questions. I asked, would you feel comfortable giving up your phone for 24 hours? And then I asked, what was the people's average screen time for last week? And so out of the 151 people that saw my story, 51 people voted that they would feel comfortable giving up their phone for 24 hours.
Interesting.
And only 6 people said that they would not, which was not what I expected.
Not what I expected either. Danielle, I think lying could have come into play in this.
Because we're like, I don't think I've ever met one person that has actually gone on their phone, like not gone on their phone for like a whole day consistently.
Yeah, agreed.
And so that's why I asked both questions, because the first one it says like, 51 people voted that they would be comfortable. Maybe we're not as...
what is the second
See, but that's
question?
the thing.
What do
There's
we get
the second
here?
question.
What's
it
the
says,
answers?
what was your average screen time? And we have answers like 8 hours and 23 minutes averaging a day. We have 6 hours. We have another 6 hours. We have 7 hours. And it's like, when you think about all the things that you do in a day, like
24 hours in a day.
24 hours in a day. You have
work,
6 of those hours for school, few of those hours for sports, few of those hours for a job, family, eating.
Where are we fitting that time in?
Where are we fitting that time in? We're fitting it in everywhere, in little areas of the day when we don't even need to be doing it.
Oh, exactly.
And that's what's so hard about it, is like, we are more reliant than we think, because all of these, most of these people said that they would feel like completely comfortable giving up their phone for a day. But when your screen time is 12 hours a day, like this person said.
Oh, excellent.
That is
half of your day
I don't know,
on the phone.
I don't know how okay you would truly be with giving up your phone if you were put in a situation where you had to relinquish control of your phone completely.
That is a good point, Danielle. That is a good point.
I would have to agree. And so I'm trying to think, what is the lowest that I got?
I saw 2 in there.
I think the lowest I got was 1 hour a day. And that's my friend that doesn't have like anything on his phone. But that's the lowest.
Oh, my goodness.
The highest was 12 hours a day.
He's the John of the group.
Yeah, and then the highest was 12 hours a day, and I'm just going to say it. That was Josh Hernandez.
Oh, my goodness, Josh. Yes.
Josh, I don't know when you're going on your phone, but that is...
Well, I wouldn't say that we're at Brave New World standards yet.
Not quite
There's
yet.
a difference between synthetically making children and being on your phone for 12 hours.
There's a bit of a leap.
So I think we're good on some parts. Just there's still some red flags and warnings we need to be watching for. Yeah, we can't just blindly stroll on by.
Well, and we still have a lot of the values that people in the Brave New World don't have any grasp on. They look upon family as being disgusting, and the idea of a mother is they're no, that's not right, because they see it as a almost an uncivilized
maybe a taboo, you would say?
Possibly.
Okay.
More of an animal-esque bebehavior, and they think it's disgusting. But even in today's society with
what's your cat doing?
I don't know. With all of the technology that we have, and even if we may be reliant on it, we still value things like family and caring for other people.
And also our morality, Danielle.
Elaborate on that.
It's still there,
It is still there.
In Brave New World, it's we're robots, but just on just the brink to where we can still classify ourselves as humans,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole time you were bringing up, family. Well, let me talk about emotions, Danielle. Here, we don't synthetically make our emotions, Danielle. We let them thrive. Sometimes it's for the worst, but most of the time it's for the best. In Brave New World, they're want to take away the worst times. Just
take a drug.
Yeah,
that
let's
can
take
make
a
you
drug
happy.
that makes me happy all the time. Also, I'm gonna sleep with everyone that I want to.
Every person I walk by, I'm going to
sleep with them.
And I'm going to take a drug that makes me happy.
Exactly.
So I don't feel sad.
And I'm going to be a very horrible, weird person.
And want to know something interesting? The drug is isn't it not supposed to be addictive? It's not supposed to be. But notice how every single person heavily relies on this.
And they have their
drug.
Soma parties,
The parties.
They get together, take some Soma, have an orgy. It's just a great time.
It is a great time.
What's up with that?
We haven't quite gotten there. Well,
I'd say
depends on where you look.
I would say that most people have not gotten there.
I would say the biggest difference on where we are as us people in this society and the people in Brave New World is I think the morals are just slightly different. Because
I agree.
we still have things like values for family and getting a job and knowledge and stuff. Yes. We kind of lost that in the Brave New World, because they can't even have books or flowers because it may...
Bit of a trigger.
One may think for themselves.
Oh my goodness.
How could they?
Yeah, let's not even bring that up. Well, Danielle, as you were saying how we have differences, I looked to your right and I saw a picture of horses. It's next to a mesa.
It's Castle Rock.
It's Castle Rock.
In Colorado.
I love Colorado.
Me too.
I don't.
Okay.
I hate Colorado. But I was looking at that and I'm like, you know what else we got a difference with? Which is our other topic, Danielle. Nature.
Nature, you're so right.
I mean, come on now. You look at Brave New World. They're just over here, technology, everything, bam, bam. Where's the horses at Castle Rock?
Where's
Danielle?
the buffalo?
Where's the buffalo in Zion? Tell me where they are. They're not there.
They're not there.
Or at least they're not brought up. Only time we're brought up of Castle Rock kind of environments is the reservation, the Savage Reservation. And I mean, that's just gnarly.
That's gnarly.
But here, you want to think about it.
Let's think about it.
On one side, you got pure nature society. You got primal people just living in nature, no technology. Most technology they have, maybe tools. And then you think about Brave New World.
Squirrels.
Yeah, you think about Brave New World. Nah, no nature. We're gonna keep flowers in this one room, and you
will listen to words while you sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be a part of that. And then you can look at us.
We're kind of a little in the middle.
We're a little mixed.
I think we're leaning a little bit more towards Brave New World.
No, most definitely.
But we're more in the middle. middle because we have advanced greatly in technology in many different areas.
Look at medicine, Danielle. Isn't that a trip?
Look at what?
Medicine.
Oh,
medicine. Didn't you have bronchitis just a minute ago?
I did have bronchitis.
And what'd you do?
I went to the doctor and I took 2 different rounds of antibiotics.
And what did that do to you?
I got better.
It healed you.
Look at me now. I'm not dead.
So I think what I'm trying to say, Danielle.
I wasn't done.
No, you were.
Okay.
I think what I'm trying to say in general is technology is not a bad thing, Danielle. It's not.
I don't
it's
think
a
so.
blessing.
It is.
But
we abuse it.
We do abuse it, Danielle. You're totally right. And we cannot let it take control. When God made the earth, did he make on the 7th day an iPhone? No. He made the oceans. He made the trees.
The birds.
He made the birds.
The birds of the sky.
We are here to protect that, and we are here to glorify it. Just look at it, go, wow. Look at that.
And places like America have created things like national parks to protect that.
Exactly.
Because we can go to national parks and we can see.
Because there's something to admire about it. There's something that gives it value.
And it's so sad to go to places. And, like, imagine you go to Zion and they're like,
I'd cry.
We're not doing this. We actually have to put apartments and industry plants here.
You know your bison that you like so much? They're going to Catalina to make a burger. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're going into a zoo in New York where they can not move.
I'm not down with that.
Exactly.
Mr. Mustafa.
And so we have places like national parks because we admire nature so greatly. But think about if we didn't have places like national parks. Look at everywhere else. Look at Southern California.
When I was driving over to your house, Danielle, I was thinking that. I'm like, look at all of these houses. There's maybe just one spot on the way over here where I'm like, there's nothing here. It's just nature doing its thing.
We are so greatly overpopulated.
And you know what I thought? I was like, let's put some more houses on there.
Exactly, because you cannot have any inch of square space.
Because John and Karen and their 2 kids need a place to live. Where are they gonna live, Danielle? You gotta make some more houses for them. But that's where we're kind of at the struggle. Do we respect nature and try to keep it, or do we, kind of bow down to mankind and go, listen, here you are, here's your house.
Well, I think we've already done that.
I just murdered a bunch of beavers.
I think we've already done that because look at Ladera. There are
I think Ladera is the best out of all of them. It's San Clemente. I live in Laguna.
Laguna is not good.
Yeah, there's nothing nature about it.
You have the Palisades.
That's true. I do have the Palisades.
But we need to learn to value it more because we've already developed on so many of these areas of lands that will not recover.
Gotcha.
Because think about it. It's like, imagine, that's not a good way to put it. Imagine for whatever reason, mankind gone.
Uh-huh.
There's a zombie apocalypse. Mankind is gone.
Walking Dead.
Yes.
Ever watch that
possibly. Show? Okay, yeah.
Continue.
Was that where you're... Never mind. Wipes out the population.
Yes, dead. Virus.
See, that's what I was not trying to go for. Wipes out the population. There's still all going to be these houses and concrete buildings and concrete roads, and it's going to take a while for nature to recover.
At least 100 years.
Because we've destroyed it.
At least 100 years.
And we have things like technology that are supposed to be making our lives easier, but I think in some ways it's making our lives harder. Teens are sad all the time because of social media.
There's a big problem with social media.
Have you heard about the Instagram issue?
There's many of them. What are you talking about?
How social media is trained to feed things to each individual person, and it's making kids very sad because they spend a lot of time on there, but it's not good for their brain.
Comparison maybe is happening. I want to be this, but I am not this.
Possibly.
That could be.
That probably didn't happen as much when we didn't.
In the 1700s. That probably didn't.
We were churning butter.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at someone going, oh, I want to be them. I was like, yo,
I got a bison to go take care of.
I got a burger. You got the bison, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. And so while we've developed so much in technology to the point where it's helping, I think we've kind of also relapsed to the point where it is now becoming harmful because we don't know how to do anything without technology.
Honestly, I don't know if I could do a lot of basic math without a calculator.
I couldn't, by any means. And
isn't that something?
I had to, you know how like there's like when you start your car, you have like the regular key that you turn, and then you have the push start.
Yeah.
I had to teach my mom how to use a key that turned when we were in Alaska because we had a rental car and there wasn't a push start.
Well, isn't your mom from like 1970 or something?
No, but she was like, "How do you start it? Like, I don't know how to start it." And
That's
I just flipped the key up.
No, I'm just gonna make fun of your mom.
You should.
Yeah.
I love Jessica, but that was embarrassing.
What, a 40-year-old woman, and she had to have driven a car.
She did,
one of these days.
That's what I'm saying.
You turn the key.
Technology,
how do you forget?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Technology is helpful, but I think it's hurting us a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little embarrassing.
No, I know. I'm like, I'm the 16-year-old that's supposed to be relying on technology, and I don't know how to start a car.
Yeah,
not you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so I think we're hurting ourselves a little bit. But there are many benefits, like medicine. You can't really complain that much about.
I can't complain when I have a cough and I go in and they're like, "Here's some cough syrup." Go to my local CVS, give me some Dayquil, and I'm like,
prescription.
Thanks, buddy.
And then within like a week, you feel fine.
Or if Danielle has like bronchitis, she goes in and gets an antibiotic, and then she's like feeling better, but she's still coughing in my face.
I'm not though.
You were a second ago.
I coughed once.
I'm not forgiven, but anyways.
Okay, well so there are some benefits, but I think that we're a lot closer to the Society of Brave New World than we think we are, and I think it's important that we don't just sit here and read it and like scoff at these people because of how
most definitely
insane they seem.
We're on track.
We're on track.
We glorify sex and drugs and feeling good, and synthetic things are being made. Robots aren't getting enhanced. Bring that up, Elon Musk.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so basically, I read this. Well, yes, but I read this book, and it's called 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, and there was a part of it where it talked about how there's this ongoing problem with technology and morals have had to like intertwine, and they're like overlapping with one another, because so the example that they used in the book was we're starting to create self-driving cars, and they're becoming more and more populous on the streets, and more people are starting to drive them, especially here in Orange County.
Interesting.
And so they brought up this problem where basically like if put in a scenario where like this car is doing its self-driving thing and a little kid or a person or something like that like runs out into the street without looking, and the car has to swerve. But let's just say if the car swerved, it would kill the driver. But if it didn't, it would kill the person that ran into the street. That becomes a moral question of who would you save, and how can you be expected to make technology to pick? Or how do you pick who to program, like how to program technology? Like, because the person that programmed the technology would be the one that, like, that would be their morals in the technology because they programmed it. So how would you pick the person, like, which person to
die?
Yeah.
Understood.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you have these issues that are coming up, like morality, that's having to work its way into technology.
Do you think morality will just be ignored one of these days?
Likely.
That question will just not come up. They're like, nah, how about you both die? It's like whatever makes me the more money.
Yeah, well,
that's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
Bronchitis.
No, that is a possibility for sure. And that's why we just have to start asking ourselves these questions, because books.
Stay alert is all I ask. English class of period 4. Stay alert.
Stay alert. And it's just important, and I think that we need to pay attention to books like Brave New World. Or even like books like Fahrenheit 451, books that just talk about the future and how it's going to affect us, and it's just odd because we look at these books and we're like, how could they do that?
How they predict that?
How could they rely?
It's because they saw it.
It's because they saw it, and here we are in 2021, And
2022 soon.
Is coming up.
Couple weeks.
And it's going to be our birthday
Christmas,
soon.
By the way. Oh.
Hey, yo.
18.
As an adult.
Hey.
And so we have to pay attention to it. And it will be interesting. The farther time passes, the more that technology progresses and we get closer and closer to Brave New World. Because I don't think we're at a point where this is like reversible.
You do not believe so?
No.
Well, I could probably agree with you on that.
That's good.
I don't think that we could, unless we just completely start over, but that's not going to happen.
But like we can't do that.
Can't
How would you get
everyone
the entire
now
world?
Would have to be just exterminated because they would teach.
It would have to be like an entire new population.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like,
and that's not going to happen.
How do you look at like cars and be like, no, I'm going to go back to walking places.
Yeah, it's like, where's my horse? I'm going to saddle up.
I have a horse. I could make that
Not
work.
Anymore.
No, I do.
You still have it?
Yeah, I do.
You told me you didn't have Mo anymore.
No, I do.
Why do you lie to me?
I didn't. Where did you hear that?
You literally told me.
No, I didn't.
Whatever, Danielle. But anyway, where people are going to have to go, yo, where's my fox
carriage?
Trotter?
Where's my carriage?
Where is it? And then they're going to have to hop in that, saddle up. It's just a whole thing, and then clean up its dookies. It's just like, and then, but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, it's like, let me just drive a car. Hey, look, my weekly report screen time just came up.
What is it,
I'm averaging 4 hours and 43 minutes a day.
See? We are, and where do you fit time in to do that, Connor?
I don't know, because I have school and a job.
And sports?
And sport. Well, not right now.
Okay,
it's
well,
down
I'm trying
season.
to give you.
Thank you.
Actually, no, that was not the benefit of the doubt. That was actually kind of hurting your case.
You're a fool.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So I think it's important to pay attention to.
It is. We have to stay true to ourselves.
What?
Like a Disney princess.
Aww.
Exactly.
I think you'd be Cinderella.
I'd rather not be compared to a princess.
I don't care.
Personally.
I don't care.
And if I was, I'd want to be blonde.
Okay. A warrior.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Okay. Well, I think that's where we're going to end it.
Okay. After that long and very
rigorous
intellectual conversation.
Two great minds put together in one podcast.
This was the collaboration of a lifetime.
You guys are very lucky.
Yeah, you should count your blessings.
I think we're going to wrap it up.
We had a great talk about how
technology and nature,
basically, and how we're a lot closer to Brave New World than we think.
Yeah.
New Worlds is a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools podcast network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK-12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. For more information, please visit cbcs.org. Finally, if you have any questions or comments about our podcasts, please email podcasts@cbcs.org. Thank you again so much for listening, and be sure to subscribe to the feed to stay up to date with us.